So my spiritual awakening started, from what I can remember officially, in 2012. And I want to go into that story of what kind of guided me into more of spirituality and all of that. And I want to preface this by saying that I think personally for me, I believe a spiritual awakening is something that happens from the moment we're born, and it's a continual, gradual thing over our lifetimes of just remembering who we are, why we're here, and like what our purpose is, and just trying to align with that and our highest self. So that being said, this was the very first time that this was exposed to me. I had been to church and things like that growing up, but something was just not resonating with me with that. And so I just knew that there was something more, and it wasn't necessarily that. So when I actually first became an esthetician, I booth rented in a salon. And I had this client come in, and she was one of my regulars, and I forget what it was for, but she randomly one day, it might have been for Christmas, I don't know. She randomly one day decided she was gonna bring me this gift certificate, and it was for like an energy session. And I'm like, what is this? Because this is like 2012, I'm probably 19 years old at this point, and I'm from a small town, and so like this happening in my small town was also strange. Like the fact that an energy session or whatever was even a thing, and I had no idea what this was at all. So I asked her, and she was like, oh, you should just go book a service, you'll love it, it'll be great. I'm like, okay. So I end up booking it, and I remember like during the session we were just kind of talking. I think maybe there was some tarot in the beginning, I'm not really sure, but I remember we were just kind of like talking about different things. And one of the things she'd asked me was, did you have an imaginary friend when you were a child? And I remember like people telling me that I did, but I honestly didn't know much about it. That was something that my parents were not really super open to, and it was a little creepy probably for them. So I didn't have a lot of knowledge on it. But as we started talking through it and stuff, she was explaining to me that because I was going through so much as a child, that these probably weren't necessarily imaginary friends that I just blatantly made up. It was probably a guardian angel of some sort that was there to help me during the transitions I was going through as a child. So she asked me if I remembered the name, if I remembered anything, and I'm sitting here like, no, like I can't remember, I don't know anything. And she said, is their name Claire? And it was the craziest thing. I remember I just started sobbing, and I ended up like I was like hovering over my body, like looking down on myself in this chair, like crying. And at the time I didn't realize that why I was crying. I was just kind of like, this is, your human self wants to be like, oh, this is embarrassing, I'm crying, this makes no sense, But I think that in that moment I was having this like remembrance of something from my childhood, and something that was reminding me of like my existence, of like being more than just this human, and that I am a spiritual being having a human experience, and that these guides and angels are all around us. And she also had done like an energy alignment session. So usually I've been actually seeing her her name's Angie. I've been seeing her for the last, well, like almost 14 years, and she's a good friend of mine. And she's basically like an intuitive, but she had me lay down, and she put her hands over me but wasn't even touching me, and I could feel like I have a really bad shoulder, and I could feel like my muscle unwinding and things shifting and moving, and like she wasn't touching me at all. I mean, she was literally using energy to fix anything in my shoulder, in my back, in my body in general. And that was another time where I was like, yeah, there's definitely way more to this than what we have here in like the physical world. So from there, it kind of was a slow evolution to where I am now, where I understand things a little bit more than I did back then. I try to do more practices that allow me to like help me to remember myself, face my shadow, and be able to, yeah, just have that more of an awakening. And I didn't talk about this ever. Like, if you're a friend of mine or a family member of mine, you've probably heard me talk about all of this stuff a million times, but I didn't talk about this for a long time because it was taboo, and I have my own gifts and things that I'm learning how to use better and recognize better. And I feel like now everybody is kind of coming into this like remembrance and awakening as a collective, like all at one time, which I think makes it more acceptable to be able to express what a lot of people have been feeling for a really long time. But as a society, that has not been something that we are taught or that we should believe and all of that. So I just wanted to share that really quickly. If you're going through like an awakening, or if you're wanting to just explore that more, I'm going to be posting more about this on this page. And that's kind of the whole reason why I've taken a shift in rebranding myself and not putting myself in a box as a licensed esthetician. I have learned a lot in 14 years as in my adulthood, but also as a business owner, as an esthetician, and working with different people, helping others. And I want to help other people be able to remember themselves, figure out what their purpose is, why they're here, and all of that. So that's why I've rebranded to the Ronnie Resonance. And if this did resonate with you, definitely like and follow. I want to post more of this type of content, and this is authentic and true to me and stuff that I believe. So if you believe, go ahead and follow me.